Alright, hello. I'm not really going to do a fancy intro because there's probably going to be a lot of these cuts, and so essentially, this is me, your loved director, manager of esports at App State, whatever you want to call me. And I'm going to make this video for you guys, and this is the first time I made one of these, essentially, like as a recording and things, and I'm just talking to myself, so we'll see how it goes. I didn't really bother making a specific stream setup for this, so I'm essentially just using one that I've made for in general. I'm looking at a game that the ASU champions played against the Virginia Tech Hokies. I believe it was the thing. Oh shit, you can't see that. Well. Unfortunate. Okay. And if you guys have any feedback for next time, be sure to send that to me. You guys know how to contact me. What the heck? I can't use the right side of the screen. Alright. Guess we're using the arrow keys. That's annoying. Alright, I'm gonna speed it up here. I know they're hotkeys, but I don't really have number pads, so it's just easier to click essentially. First, we're going to look at early game setup. So I'm going to jump back. First of all, Mikey, you came out of the base too late. And starting items, let's look at those. That's a Brave. Alright, let's set these up. Like I said, I'm sorry if one's pretty rough. It's the first time. I'll get better at it if I keep doing these. It's Kled, Rumble, Kha'Zix, Nidalee. Nidalee's absolutely the better jungler, but Kha'Zix... Azrael's pretty... They have two pretty squishy people, and if you get the drop on Nidalee, you can kill her. So, if you can play it intelligently, that's smart. I think Kled is a winning matchup in the Rumble. I think he was smart to buy the orange shield, though. Refillable potion. He'll be kind of weak on the first clear. Oh, you'll have to back. Just like... I don't play as much as I used to, but just based on what I remember, or like what it was, that's what you'll probably be a little low. And then Mikey, you bought too late. Ezreal doesn't have items, so that's interesting. Alright, we'll just keep going here. See where you guys are going. It looks like you guys weren't really sure, because Jack is just like wandering around. You're not really doing anything standing here. If you're going to stand in the mid lane, you should stand over here, because you get actual sight. Yeah, there you go. Back, you should stand either on the edge of the bush or in this bush. It gives you more sight and makes it safer. If you're going to stand around, this ward is pointless. You can place it as you run away. Same thing with this ward. I don't think there's really a point to it. You could just as easily like just stand right here, and you are completely safe. Like, they have nothing that can grab you. There's no blitzcrank that can hook you from here. And this is a waste of the early trinket ward. I think that's a mistake. Hold on, I will turn on. I'll turn on summoner names so I can. Sure, I'm pretty sure I know who everyone is. I'm pretty sure it's Mikey on AD carry, and then John, and Austin and Jack. Okay, so one thing that I think you should consider doing on support Leona is this, and this is it for the early game. I'm gonna probably cut it here. It's just like this is the very beginning of the game for this one. I can scrub through it again real quick and make sure I didn't miss anything. But for this leash, with those two charges, you should try to tank 1 or 2 hits, which will give your jungler a lot more, like a lot easier time clearing. And then also with Kha'Zix especially, you should consider starting Gromp, Gromp with the help of your top laner, because you can clear so quickly due to the isolation buff. And then you can get to blue buff, and like the buffs don't really matter that much for Kha'Zix except for a little bit of cooldown. And so I think you should really consider that, because then you can also potentially go steal Nidalee's, or you can get an early gank off when they're not expecting it. I think it opens up a lot of paths that you should consider doing. That's like a very specific thing to Kha'Zix because his single target damage is so big. And I assume you skilled this to help leash, but honestly, Shield of Daybreak at level 1 is trash in lane. And so, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I think Eclipse and Zenith Blade are both better abilities. Because this is 30 damage and like an extra auto attack for a 1-second stun, and then that's all you're gonna do for the entire trade. Whereas this, you like lock them down, it does double the damage, and like, yeah, you can potentially hit both of them. It's generally a better skill in my mind. I think Switcheroo is fine. For Jinx, it's pretty situational. With the Leona, you should absolutely, might want to consider doing Flame Choppers level 1, because then if he stuns, then you can drop those choppers. That's like a good combo to do, but it's risky, especially against them, because they're pretty mobile. Check this, Death Ray. Yeah, Death Ray or Siphon Power, both are fine. Syndra is long range, so probably, yeah, Death Ray. Back. I'm sorry it's so slow, I have to use the arrow keys. Air trap on a rope, yep, absolutely. And then, yep, makes sense. Unless you're going to go for a leap for an early gank on these guys, which with Kha'Zix is something you should definitely consider. Yeah, I think those are all fine. And then I'll do runes in a separate thing. Alright, I'm gonna stop the recording for this section.